From ancient gods to holy islands and islands of rabbits, these are some of the lands we'll explore today in another episode of Country Names and Their Origins. Today we start off with Spain. They are among the most influential countries of the modern era, and 500 million people speak their language today. But what does their name mean? The answer to that question is a bit fuzzy. Spain, or España, is a direct continuation of the Latin Hispania, which was once a Roman province. As to where the Romans got that name from, there's some debate about it. Some of the less accepted theories say that Spain comes from the pre-Roman Iberian word Hispalis, or city of the west, or the Greek term Hesperia, as in the land of the setting sun, or maybe from the Basque term Espana, meaning edge. But the most widely accepted theory is that Spain has its origins in a Semitic word. You see, Carthaginians referred to the region as Spania before the Romans, and the Carthaginians were Phoenicians, who in turn were a Semitic nation. The Phoenician term Hispania or ʼΗ-šəpānîm means island of rabbits, and indeed coins struck in the time of Hadrian depict Hispania as a female figure with a rabbit at her feet. Other geographers of the time, like Strabo, also referred to Iberia as the island of rabbits. Well, the actual animal in question is a hyrax, or shrew mouse, that early Phoenicians probably mistaken for rabbits. So the most likely meaning of Spain is island of rabbits, or even more accurately, the island of Hyraxes. Way out there in the east, in the southern corner of India, lies the island nation of Sri Lanka. This island was known by many names throughout history, including Tabropen, Helanka or Ceylon. As a fun fact, Persians and Arabs called it Sarandib, which is the origin of the English term serendipity. The present name though, Sri Lanka, is of Sanskrit origin. Sri is a word designating something holy, resplendent and graceful, while Lanka means island. On the opposite side of Earth, we find Suriname, a country in South America where, and this may come as a surprise, Dutch is the official language. Suriname was named after the indigenous people called Surinen, who lived there long before any European ever set foot on their lands. Lord Francis Willoughby named one of the rivers here Suriname in honor of the Earl of Surrey, so this is also regarded as a possible source for the name, but it's highly unlikely. The Surinen were among the earliest known inhabitants of this place, but were driven out by other natives and European settlers by the 16th century. As to what Surinen actually means, nobody knows. We swing back to Europe, to one of the happiest and wealthiest nations on earth, Sweden. Their name is derived from Old English, Middle Dutch and Low German. These renditions took forms like Sveoland, Sviorike or Sviþjoð, all cognates with the Old Norse Sviþjoð. Sviþjoð turned into Sviariki and together with its modern counterpart Sverige means realm of the Swedes. The Svi part comes from the Proto-Indo-European suos, meaning of one's own kind, while þjoð means people. Further south we find another one of the wealthiest nations on this planet, Switzerland. Switzerland is a compound of the words Switzer, an obsolete term for the Swiss, and land, from the Proto-Indo-European Land, meaning realm or earth. Switzer is an adaptation of the Alemannic Schwyzer, an inhabitant of the Schwyz canton, one of the cantons that formed the nucleus of the old Swiss Confederacy. Members of the Confederation started using this term to designate themselves after 1499, when the war with the House of Habsburg ended. Schwyz is a word related to Sweden, an old German word meaning to burn, referring to the area of forest that was burned and cleared to build. Syria is one of the most iconic and most heard of nations of the Middle East, and their name goes way back in history. Its current form is derived from Surai, a name used in the 8th century BC by Anatolian people and later the Greeks as Siroi. Both forms originate from Ashurayu, the name of the ancient empire we call today Assyria, that first appeared over 4,500 years ago. When the Seleucid Empire, or Seleukos, was formed in 323 BC, the Greeks used Siroi to designate both the area of the Levant and former Assyrian lands of Mesopotamia. Assyria in turn got its name after the city-state of Ashur, capital of the Assyrians and named after the head of the Assyrian pantheon in Mesopotamian religions. So yeah, Syria as a name goes way back. And lastly, we make a final stop today in Tajikistan, a Persian-speaking nation. The simple explanation for their name would be land or country of the Tajiks. The term Tajik was applied to a pre-Islamic tribe that was neither Turk nor Mongolic or Arab that spoke the Persian language. Simplified, Tajik is a non-Turk of Iranian descent. Complicated, I know. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Tell me what you think about it downstairs and do hit that subscribe button if you want to see more episodes. If you really enjoyed this, there's a Patreon page where you can support my work. I hope to see you next time. Bye.